Everybody. So today I want to talk to you guys about how to find your corset muscles, aka your TAs, your transverse abdominals, so that you can get a snatched waist postpartum. So these, your TAs are nicknamed your corset muscles, right? So they are going to help you to snatch that waist postpartum, which is what so many women want. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, right? But before we can get that snatched waist, you need to be able to find your transverse abdominals, right? And that's what I'm going to help walk you through today. So a bit about your TAs, they go from they wrap around your body from the front to the back, right? So when you engage them, when you contract them, you are contracting and feeling engagement from the back, your spine, all the way around front to your linea alba, okay? They go all the way around. These are anticipatory muscles, meaning they should fire right before you go to do something, right? So before you go to lift something up, a split second before, they should fire, okay? There are, though, things that will disrupt some anticipatory muscles. Your TAs can be disrupted during pregnancy, for example, okay? And it doesn't always get back on track after you've had baby. Sometimes you need to intentionally retrain these muscles so that they can get back online, right? Back to the being the anticipatory muscles that they are supposed to be, right? And so that it just is what it is, right? We just need to spend some time retraining these muscles, okay? One of the best ways to get your anticipatory system back online is to, of course, give it some targeted attention and work, which is what we're going to be focusing on today. So I'm going to walk you through how to find your TAs. You can go ahead and lie down. You can save this video for later if you're not able to lie down right now. Excuse me. And then I want you to think about drawing your core muscles in and up as you exhale, okay? But one of the biggest mistakes that I see, and people come to me with this issue, is drawing in too much at the belly button, right? So your TAs have three different sections. So your lower, your middles, and your uppers. And if you're drawing in too much at the belly button area, then you're overworking those middle TAs, and we don't want that, okay? If you're overworking your middle TAs, you could be putting pressure down onto your pelvic floor, which could worsen or lead to issues like urinary leakage issues, prolapse, hernias. And so we don't want those things, right? We want your TAs to be knitting together nicely from the bottom up, okay? That is how we want to be thinking about doing it, not just sucking in or drawing in at the belly button. So don't put all of your focus there. So when you begin your exhale, you're going to first engage your pelvic floor. Then you're going to imagine trying to use your body to pull your hip bones together, okay? That's going to help you to engage those lower TAs, right? That's the first part, well, really the second part of your knitting, right? Because first is pelvic floor. Then you're going to get those lower TAs on board, okay? Then you're going to draw your belly button in and up, but not overdo it because, again, we don't want to put pressure down onto your pelvic floor and low abs. And then we're going to close that knitting process by bringing your ribs down. Those are going to bring your upper TAs together, okay? So it's a process. It takes some time, but that is what I want you to think about, is like knitting your TAs together from the bottom up. All right, so now to get those TAs firing, I want you to lay down and find your hip bones, okay? Then I want you to put your finger just inside, so like right here where your hip bones are, okay? And you're going to give me a slight, very slight engagement of your pelvic floor. If you're not sure how to do a Kegel correctly, which is not just stopping the flow of urine, okay? There's more to it involved in a Kegel than just that. So if you're not sure how to do that component of this training, send me a message. I have a separate training I can send you on how to do a Kegel correctly. But for now, if you are able to do a Kegel correctly, go ahead and slightly draw up that pelvic floor. And then you should feel a slight engagement right below your fingers. Those are your lower TAs firing off, okay? Now I want you to relax, do a nice 360 breath in. 360 breathing is not just expanding out your belly. So if you are not sure how to do 360 breathing, send me a message and I have another training for you on how to do that. But do a nice 360 breath in, relax pelvic floor, relax your core, and then give me a full engagement of your pelvic floor, okay? Like you are about to lift up a 50-pound kiddo, okay? Full engagement of the pelvic floor as you have your fingers here. Now you should feel your muscles, your body trying to almost push your fingers out, okay, as all of these muscles engage. So this is really your whole core firing, okay? Your internal and external obliques, your transverse abdominis, your rectus abdominis, all of those muscles are engaging to help you get to that full engagement, right? So that's the difference between like doing just a slight engagement and then trying to do a full engagement to recruit all the muscles to help you lift something super heavy, okay? For now, though, for our purposes of just finding your TAs and reestablishing that connection, I only want you to be practicing using that slight pelvic floor engagement, okay? We don't want everything firing right now. We want to just help our body reestablish that TA connection, okay? Okay, so when you are, I want you to take this and apply it to not only your workouts, but also your day-to-day life. I tell my clients all the time, it is what you do most of the time that matters most. And most of the time, we are not working out, okay? We are just living our day-to-day life. So if you are only practicing core and pelvic floor engagement in your workouts, you're missing a huge opportunity to help you get that anticipatory system back online, right? So before you go to lift your kiddos, before you go to lift the groceries up, before you go to, I don't know, lift up a table and clean underneath it, right? I want you to first pause, engage that pelvic floor, get your core engaged, your transverse abdominals, right? Engaged, and then go about lifting or doing whatever it is you're going to do, right? And the amount of engagement that you have should match the load that you're about to do. So bending down and lifting up a 5-pound dumbbell, that's going to require less of an engagement than lifting up your 50-pound kid, right? And so being aware of that, just like, you know, me lifting this up requires a different amount of engagement than lifting up a candle. So be aware of that as you go to lift things up and engage your pelvic floor and your core. You don't want to be overdoing it all the time. You want the engagement to match the load that you are about to try and carry, okay? But doing this and doing this on repeat, thinking about it all the time before you go to lift something up, that's going to help that anticipatory system come back online a lot quicker than if you're only trying to do this in your workouts, right? And so that's why I'm telling you to do this in your day-to-day life so that it can carry over and become something that your body remembers to do automatically over time, because that's the end goal, right? That's what you want your body to do over time, is this system should be firing automatically. Now, if you try and do this backwards, right? So if you try to engage your core first before your pelvic floor, you could be putting pressure down on pelvic floor, which again could lead to issues like urinary leakage, prolapse, what am I trying to say? Hernia. And so we don't want those things, right? You want to make sure that you do this in order and you, again, use that knitting up sort of pattern. It helps so much to visualize things as you do them of what you want your body to do. For your body to learn how to do this on its own, you're going to have to be intentional, but it's going to help you so much, not only with reaching your aesthetic goals postpartum and snatching in that waist, right? But also quality of life, because if you have urinary leakage issues, if you have prolapse, that does affect your quality of life. And so we want to work as much as we can to prevent these things before they become an issue. And this is one of the ways to do that, okay? All right, if you guys have any questions at all, please let me know. And I will talk to you later. Bye.